Hey gardening friends, ready to grow healthier plants, bigger harvests, and smarter gardens? Let's get started.
What if the most powerful protein source you could ever eat has been quietly growing in backyards across America for thousands of years, and almost nobody knows it exists? And what if I told you that right now, while grocery bills keep climbing and a single pack of chicken breast costs more than it ever has before, there are 10 plants you can grow once in your own backyard and harvest for the rest of your life, each one packing more protein per gram than most of the meat sitting in your refrigerator. Welcome to The Smart Gardener. If this is your first time here, this channel is dedicated to helping everyday Americans grow smarter, eat better, and depend a little less on the grocery store every single season. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button right now so you never miss what we dig up next. Today we are counting down 10 plants with more protein than meat that you can grow once and eat forever. And I am going to give you the real expert growing details that most gardening videos leave out. And at the end, I am going to show you something no other channel has covered: how to combine all 10 of these plants into one complete backyard protein system that works with your specific climate zone right here in the United States. Stick around, because number 3 on this list is a plant that most American home gardeners have never even heard of. And it just might be the most important thing you plant this season. Alright, let us start the countdown. Coming in at number 10 is moringa. And most American gardeners assume it is strictly a tropical plant. That assumption is costing them one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth. If you live in zones 9 through 11, grow it outdoors year-round. If you are in zones 3 through 8, which covers most of the country, grow it in a large container and bring it indoors before the first frost. Fresh leaves contain 9 grams of protein per 100 grams. Dried powder jumps to 27 grams, rivaling chicken breast. Gram for gram, moringa delivers 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, 17 times more calcium than milk, and 25 times more iron than spinach. One critical rule: this tree thrives in poor sandy soil, and the number one mistake American gardeners make is overwatering. Water deeply, then let the soil dry out completely before watering again. At number 9 is lentils. Dried lentils contain 26 grams of protein per 100 grams, more than ground beef by weight. Before planting, inoculate your seeds with Rhizobium leguminosarum bacteria, available at most garden centers. This single step dramatically boosts nitrogen fixation and improves your yield noticeably. Plant in wide patches, not single rows. Keep them away from onions and garlic. After harvest, plant lentils wherever asparagus or corn goes next season. The nitrogen they leave behind is a free gift to your next crop. At number 8 is asparagus. One crown planted once produces spears every spring for 20 years. Before planting, soak crowns in warm water for 30 to 60 minutes. Use the mound method at the bottom of your trench and spread roots outward in a full 360-degree pattern. Never use fresh manure, it burns young crowns. Do not harvest year 1. By year 3 you get 8 to 10 weeks of harvest every single spring for life. At number 7 is edamame, delivering 11 grams of complete protein per 100 grams fresh. The smart strategy is staggered planting every 2 to 3 weeks for continuous summer harvests, instead of one overwhelming flush. Cook pods whole and salt immediately while hot. The shell seasons the beans from the outside in, which is exactly why restaurants never shell them first. Stay with me, because number 6 was studied by NASA, and number 3 will genuinely surprise you. At number 6 is quinoa. The Inca called it the mother of all grains, and grew it at altitudes where nothing else survived. NASA studied it for long-duration space missions because of how nutritionally complete it is in a single plant. Dried quinoa delivers 14 grams of complete protein per 100 grams, with all 9 essential amino acids. The young leaves are also edible like spinach, giving you 2 harvests from one planting. Key growing rule: do not over-fertilize. Quinoa thrives in poor, well-drained soil. Heavy fertilizing causes it to fall over before seeds develop. It performs best in cooler regions like the Pacific Northwest, Colorado, and the Appalachian Highlands. Always rinse seeds thoroughly before eating to remove the natural bitter coating called saponin. At number 5 is the winged bean, nicknamed a supermarket on a stalk by farmers in Papua New Guinea. Every part is edible. pods, leaves, flowers, and roots. Dried seeds contain between 29 and 39 grams of protein per 100 grams. The National Academy of Sciences called it one of the most nutritionally promising crops on the planet back in 1975, and most Americans still have never seen one. Build a sturdy trellis before planting because these vines grow heavy fast. If you garden in Florida, the Gulf Coast, Hawaii, or Southern California, you can grow them outdoors. In colder zones, start indoors and transplant after the last frost. The tuberous roots, boiled or roasted, taste like a sweet, nutty potato. One plant, 4 completely different foods. At number 4 is hemp seeds. With over 10,000 years of human history, ancient warriors carried them on long campaigns. Hemp seeds pack 31 grams of protein per 100 grams with an omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Researchers describe as nearly perfect for human health. Important legal note for American gardeners. The 2018 Farm Bill made it federally legal to grow industrial hemp with THC below 0.3%, but you must register with your state agriculture department first. Hemp grows 6 to 7 feet tall in one season, and its deep taproot breaks up compacted soil, leaving your ground in better shape for the next crop. We are heading into the top 3 now. And number 3 is the one I promised you from the very beginning. Do not go anywhere. At number 3 is tepary beans, and this is the plant I promised you at the very beginning. For 5,000 years, indigenous peoples of the Sonoran Desert, across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, grew these small, dense, richly flavored beans as a daily staple. Dried tepary beans contain 23 grams of protein per 100 grams, with a low glycemic index. Researchers at the University of Arizona found their unique protein structure may offer protective effects against type 2 diabetes. Traditionally grown using the Three Sisters method, alongside corn and squash, the beans fix nitrogen into soil, corn provides a natural trellis, and squash covers the ground to seal in moisture. Water generously at planting, then pull back significantly. Tepary beans actually produce more when experiencing mild water stress. Every generation of seeds saved from your garden adapts more precisely to your soil and grows stronger each year. At number 2 is tree collards. In parts of California, there are tree collards over 40 years old, still producing leaves and feeding families today. The leaves contain 4 grams of protein per 100 grams, but because they produce year-round for decades, the cumulative yield dwarfs any annual crop. Propagate from stem cuttings, not seeds. Stake the plant immediately, or it will collapse and sprawl. Prune every few months to keep fresh growth coming. In the south, give them afternoon shade, or the leaves turn bitter. After a light frost, cold converts starches to sugar, and the leaves become noticeably sweeter. At number 1 is chaya, the plant that fed the Maya civilization for centuries. The United States Department of Agriculture found that chaya produces more edible greens per square foot than nearly any other vegetable crop studied. Fresh leaves contain 5 to 7 grams of protein per 100 grams and surpass spinach, kale, and broccoli across multiple nutritional categories. One critical safety rule: never eat raw chaya leaves. Always cook them for at least 5 to 15 minutes. Once cooked, they are completely safe, with a mild, slightly nutty flavor. In zones 8 through 11 covering Texas, Florida, the Gulf Coast, Southern California, and Hawaii, chaya grows outdoors year-round. In colder zones, grow in a large container and bring indoors before frost. One cutting shared with a neighbor can supply an entire street within a single season. Which of these 3 plants are you tracking down first? Leave it in the comments below, and stay with me for the final section, because what comes next is something no other gardening channel has put together before. Let us bring it all together. 10 plants, each one packing more protein than most people ever expected from a backyard garden. Moringa, lentils, asparagus, edamame, quinoa, winged beans, hemp seeds, tepary beans, tree collards, and chaya. Together they represent something genuinely powerful. The idea that your backyard can become a complete, lasting source of protein, independent of grocery store prices and supply chains. Now here is what no other channel has covered. Knowing the plants is only half the picture. Knowing how to combine them for your climate zone is what turns a list into a real food system. In zones 3 through 6 covering the Midwest, Northeast, and Pacific Northwest, Start with lentils, asparagus, quinoa, hemp, and edamame. In zones 7 through 9, add tree collards for year-round leaves and moringa in a container. In zones 9 through 11, the full lineup is available to you outdoors year-round. Think about your harvest calendar. Spring brings asparagus and lentils. Summer delivers edamame, winged beans, tepary beans, and hemp. Fall brings in quinoa and hemp seeds. In warmer zones, moringa, chaya, and tree collards give you fresh leaves every single month. 3 planting combinations that multiply your results. First, the 3 sisters, tepary beans, corn, and squash together. Second, plant lentils before asparagus to load the soil with natural nitrogen. Third, in warm climates grow moringa tall with chaya underneath. 2 layers of food from 1 patch of ground. Finally, save your seeds. Set aside 10 to 20% of your best seeds every season. Store them cool and dry, and they stay viable for 3 to 5 years. Every generation of seeds saved from your own soil becomes more adapted, more resilient, and more productive than anything you could buy. That quiet act of saving and sharing is one of the most generous things a gardener can do. If this video helped you discover even one new plant worth growing, please subscribe to The Smart Gardener and share this with someone who is trying to grow more of their own food. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which plant on this list are you planting first? I read every single one, and I cannot wait to find out.